democratic and open-minded Europe.
They're not numerous, but they are vocal. About 50 protesters from the Pulse of Europe, a pro-EU group, gather in central Amsterdam. In the Netherlands, it's not easy these days to whip up support for the European Union.
A lot of people feel disenfranchised in the Netherlands and feel that that they're not being taken care of, and that is the real issue. And Europe is, for some political parties, just a scapegoat for that, and not the issue.
Branding the EU as a scapegoat for the Netherlands' problems is one of the thorniest issues in the Dutch elections. Right-wing populist Geert Wilders, who has been leading in the polls, is calling for tighter border controls and an exit from the EU. But others contend EU membership is vital for this export nation. At Amsterdam's giant flower market, about 30 million flowers are auctioned off every day. For decades, vendors like Martijn Verbeek have depended on the EU's open borders.
We are specialized in Europe, mostly Scandinavia, Switzerland and Italy. Our trade is depending on the European Union. If we don't have open borders, then it will be not so easy to sell. We see that a little bit in Switzerland. It's a European country, but it has their own rules, and that's really difficult to sell flowers to.
Despite this economic interdependence, Dutch skepticism towards the European Union is nothing new. In 2005, a clear majority rejected the European Constitution, and in a referendum last year, voters opposed a treaty for closer EU ties with Ukraine.
The Dutch did like and do like Europe as a market, as a place to sell stuff for a good transporting and commercial trading nation. But they were never enthusiastic, the Dutch, and are still not, about the idea of having European politics. And that is something which has to do indeed with the sentiment of nationhood, of national identity and sovereignty, in which we as the Dutch are much closer, for instance, to the French or the Spaniards, which are also old and proud nations.
Some call it the happiness paradox. While many Dutch are satisfied with their personal and economic situations, they are skeptical of Europe and see their country under threat by migration and globalization. So these protesters behind me have one mission until the elections: to convince as many of these skeptics as possible that being Dutch in Europe, it's actually a happy fate.